it's Amy, and I am here today at the end of May to give you my May wrap-up and review video. So this does not, I do have two other books that I finished in May, but they were in my Colorado TBR wrap-up video. So if you want to check those out, I did finish Cress and the third book in the Fountain Creek Chronicles, which is Remembered, so by Tamara Alexander. So if you want to check that out, you can check out a previous video if you haven't already watched it. So this is my end of May wrap-up video, and the first book that I finished in the last weeks of May was this Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. It follows the girl Remy, R-E-M-Y, however you want to pronounce her name. Her family is kind of all screwed up. Her father, who was this musician, wrote the song called This Lullaby, which was a huge hit and has followed Remy her entire life, but no one realizes that the song is about her, and she has never really met her father, and he died several years before this book takes place. And then her mother, who has married like 5 times and has no idea what love really is, and who is also a writer but kind of puts a bad light on writers. And then there is Remy's older brother, or younger brother, older brother, who is actually like the least dysfunctional person in this book. And then there is Remy, who is an 18-year-old girl who just finished high school and is in the summer before she goes off to college. And she is this girl who is totally screwed up, who has dealt with life and love in a really unhealthy way, and oh my goodness, this girl just drove me nuts. And then in walks Dexter, who is this quirky, funky guy who is in a band, who is actually a very nice guy, who decides to pursue Remy by I don't know what reasons, and it's the story of him trying to break down all of the walls and rules that Remy has in her life about love. And it's this love story, and oh my goodness, I gave this book, I think a 3 out of 5 stars. I liked it enough to finish it. I liked it enough to kind of enjoy it. It was not the best book that I've ever read, and it was not the worst book I've ever read. It is definitely not the best book that I've read by Sarah Dessen by any means. The Truth About Forever was amazing. This book was eh. The main problem I had with this book was the main character. She was very whiny and very self-deprecating and had ridiculous rules for no apparent reason on why she did things, and it was just dumb. And just the things that she did in her life. She drank a lot, she did drugs before, she slept around a lot, and it made it very unbelievable. I know that there are people like that. I know that there are kids like that, but she did all of those things, but then on the other side, her life was normal. Like, she got really great grades, good enough grades to get herself into an Ivy League school, which normally, if you do a lot of drinking and a lot of partying and a lot of drugs and a lot of sleeping around, I'm not saying it's not possible, it just is highly unlikely. And so, I don't know, she just was not a very likable character, and just, I don't understand why a really great guy like Dexter would fall for her, and he does, and I don't know. So, I liked it, but it wasn't the best. I probably won't be keeping this book on my shelf. So that is This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. And then the next book that I finished in May was The Heir by Kira Cass. And this is technically the 4th book in the Selection series. I am with some other people that I've heard say that this is more like a spin-off on the Selection series. It should be titled the first book in the Heir series. Okay, so I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed this book enough that it took me one day to finish it. I finished most of it in one setting. I would say if you liked the Selection series, if you enjoyed it, you should finish it. You should continue with this book. If you did not like the Selection series, I would not pick this book up, because you probably will most likely not like this book. There are so many mixed feelings I have with this. I enjoyed it, but on the other hand, I really did not like the main character. She was so unlikable, and I completely understand why the people of, I completely understand the feelings that people have with the Princess Edland, and then her suitors that she has. She goes along with a selection, so she has 35 guys that she has to choose from, and I like some of them, and then some of them I do not like, and then I just don't know. I enjoyed it, and I will continue with the series. I do have to say that I thought this was going to be the only book. This was going to be the last book, so I was highly surprised when I got to the end and it did not finish, and there's going to be more. I am excited because I do enjoy the series. I enjoy it like I enjoy The Bachelor. I think it's kind of ridiculous and I think it's kind of silly, but I will continue to read it because I just can't stop. So that is The Heir by Kira Cass. And then the last book that was on my TBR, oh my goodness, I was supposed to finish, but I didn't. And that is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. Guys. If you have watched my previous videos in the last couple months, you will have seen this book on numerous occasions, and you will have seen all of this series on numerous occasions, except for Mistborn, which is the first book in the Mistborn trilogy. The other two books have taken me forever to read. I do have to say, though, I am halfway through. Woohoo! Yay! Go me! I read that in a past like 2.5 days, so woohoo! I was supposed to finish it by the end of this day. I am not going to be able to finish like 350 pages in less than 12 hours. That's not going to happen. So this book will follow me into June. I feel like there's never been a time since I have been reading these books, and I fear that I'm never going to finish. Okay, so with that said, this is the third book in the Mistborn trilogy. I have to say, the reason why it's taken me so long to finish these books is not because I have not enjoyed them. It's not because the writing is terrible. It's not because I don't enjoy the story. It's not because I haven't just been mind blown by the things that go on. No. The thing that keeps me from finishing, has been keeping me from finishing these books, is because Brandon Sanderson is so amazing at world building and so amazing at putting great descriptions in it that the book tends to be a little bit heavy, and it takes a lot more brain power to get through a page than, say, The Heir. Like, The Heir is about 350 pages, and that's about how much I have left in this book. I read The Heir in one day, almost in one sitting. There's no way that I'm going to be able to finish the rest of this book in one day. It's not going to happen because it is so meaty and so heavy, and not in a bad way. It's amazing. Like, Brandon Sanderson is an amazing writer. The world that he's built is so phenomenal, and the characters that he's built are amazing, and the descriptions he has are just fantastic, and I absolutely love the series, and my husband is peeking in. Yes?
Hello, fellow readers!
That's Michael. That was Michael. He's actually on the first book of the Mistborn trilogy, so he's liking it. I would recommend, if you really enjoy epic fantasy, if you enjoy great world building, I would say if you haven't picked up Brandon Sanderson's stuff, you should, because he is a phenomenal writer. It takes a lot more brain power. And then the two problems that I've had with this book are, one, the chapter lengths. He goes from chapters of 6 to 8 pages long, which are really short, and if it's the next chapter, I'm going to read the next chapter because I'm like, oh, I can read that in the next 15 minutes, and it's great. But if I'm already thinking, do I want to continue reading right now, or do I want to take a break, and I look and see that the next chapter is 20 pages long, I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to go watch some Gilmore Girls or do something else than read this book. And so that has an issue with me. And then the second issue kind of goes along with the chapter lengths, is that there are like 6 different stories that are going along in this book alone, and none of them are like connected. They're all in separate places, separate people. And so you have to, like, you're reading one chapter with one character, and then the next chapter is rarely are the chapters, like, the storylines continue, and so you have to disengage yourself a little to remember, okay, what was going on, who is this character, what kind of, creature are they, because there's different creatures, and so that just makes it really hard to stay engaged in the story because there's so much stuff that you have to keep in your brain and keep straight, and I'm constantly having to go back. I'm so thankful that in the back it has, like, a dictionary, because half the time I'm like, okay, what was this? Because it's only mentioned like 2 or 3 times, and so that was a little, it just makes it really hard. And then with that, there's like one storyline that I'm not enjoying, and it's with characters that I just don't care about, and the sad thing is it's the main characters. I don't care about them. I don't like their story. They're annoying. So that makes it really hard, and that storyline are the chapters that tend to be like 20 pages long, and so it's really hard to continue when it's one of their chapters. So that has been my experience with the Hero of Ages. This will be finished in June because I have to move on with my life. I just have to. So that is Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. Okay, so those are the books that I finished in May. I had a pretty decent month, I would say. Pretty decent month. I've finished several books, which I'm very proud of myself for, especially with how busy I was in May. Oh my goodness, this month it flew by, but I can't believe I packed in so much stuff in 1 month. That's all I have for you guys. I hope you had an amazing reading month in May. Let me know down below what your favorite book was from the month and maybe what your not so favorite book was from the month. Or if you have a video, put a link down below and I can go watch it. And as always, guys, I hope you are having a great reading time and are reading some amazing things. If you have some great recommendations, please let me know down below. I am in desperate need of some books that are just going to be mind-blowing amazing. So definitely let me know down below, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye! Hey, okay, so there's a kitty here. Guess which one it is? It's Bandit. He's my little buddy. He's my little buddy, and I get to keep him. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye!